Do you think the Vikings should have any interest in Adrian Peterson returning to their
No,
squad?
absolutely not. Um,
Yeah,
One,
I
they
mean,
have Dalvin, they have
what else do
Dalvin
you need
Cook.
to say, man? Like,
Um, we know that Adrian Peterson cannot be a backup. He's never been a backup. The one time a team tried to make him a backup in New Orleans, he lasted 4 games.
and was yelling at the coach in the first
Yeah, it was
game.
glaring at the coach, getting on people's nerves because he wasn't getting the ball enough.
Yes.
He barely got over 1,000 yards last year. I know he was reborn or whatever, and 32-year-old, 33-year-old running back. But he was pretty much only option for the Redskins on offense last year.
And yeah, Mark Sanchez was their quarterback for him.
Yeah, Josh Johnson. So the 2 previous years, I think he combined for like 600 yards, 600 rushing yards.
Can't pass block.
No,
Can't
can't
catch the ball out of
catch
the
out
backfield very well.
Don't ask him that because he'll be like, "Look, I caught one pass a game out of the backfield last year." It just if he was willing, we've talked about this a lot in the past. If he was willing to be a number 2 guy, like a short yardage situation guy, then yeah.
He could help
But
the team.
But he's not.
He's not.
His ego is way, way too big to do that, and he's gonna want to go somewhere where he can either be or challenge for the number 1 spot, which I don't even think Detroit is a good option because they have Kerryon Johnson. I would look at, if you were going NFC North, I would look at the Bears as maybe a possible spot for him, or maybe even the Packers. But I think their new coach or whatever is looking probably for guys that are able to catch out of the backfield too, because he's in the Sean McVay mold or whatever.
Yeah, man.
But no, he's not coming back to Minnesota. It's the off season, something to talk about. It's a nice story. I like Terrell Davis. I liked him as a player. He's a guy. He's got to create some views too. I don't blame him. It's part of his job.
It is.
The only way I could see Adrian Peterson coming back to Minnesota is to sign a 1-day contract to retire. That's it.
I hope they don't do that. Like,
yeah, just the way that he left and stuff.
Yeah, man, and the kind of player that he was at the end there. So like,
they'll do that though.
They will. You can
It'll
make an argument from a statistical basis. You can make an argument that he would fit what the Vikings are going to be looking for if Latavius Murray if Tay Train leaves. That is statistically somebody who would fit. But you're leaving out the most important part of Adrian Peterson, and that's Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
It's his brain. It's his ego. The guy rode into his birthday party on a camel. The guy
Must play 5 more years.
Totally did the switch thing, and then like a year later admits publicly that he's still doing the same thing. He was arrested for that, Adam. He's delusional. If that production was all you were going to get, and you could promise me that you were going to get a quiet, different person, but it's Adrian, but you cannot promise me that because that's not the kind of Adrian Peterson is. He's never been that kind of a guy.
Yeah.
And what would lead us to believe that he was going to come in here and take a back seat and not be frustrated?
Yeah. He might actually end up being more expensive than Latavius Murray because I think Murray's, I was looking the other day, like his market value is like an average salary of like $1.3 million a year. So Latavius Murray wouldn't be that expensive to retain, and he's one of like the best running backs available on free agency this year. It's pretty scarce out there. Besides Le'Veon Bell, but that's not going to happen.
Well, yeah, that's we don't even need to discuss that. But that's in that as I think Latavius Murray is better at every single thing you need to do, or that what the Vikings are looking for. Yeah. Murray checks more of those boxes than Adrian Peterson. I don't even think it's close. I think he's like way better at everything that they would need.
You have Mike Boone, you have Rock Thomas. Like those guys are better options, not because they're better players than Adrian Peterson, but just because they have the potential to, evolve and do what you want them to do, not necessarily be like an MVP running back or anything like that. They go in there, they do what you need them to do, they block, they catch out of the backfield, they get scrappy yards.
Yeah.
They just do that. They don't. The Vikings, Dalvin Cook, he's shown that he's probably best when he's a 3-down running back. So there's no room for Adrian Peterson to even be there because he's just going to sit on the sideline and sulk.
Yes,
and Mike Zimmer is going to go to the press and be like, well, he can suck it up. But, yeah.
That was good. That was going to be my next point, was where do you use an Adrian Peterson? Because it can't be on third down, which would be the normal place you would use him. You would spell Dalvin Cook on third down. You can't have him in because he's not able to do the things you need him to do on third down. So then what are you talking about? You're talking about a second quarter, third quarter, like spelling Dalvin Cook for a drive or two. Like, we don't need that.
And the offense,
especially not with that kind of a,
the offense
history
that they're going to run next year is what predicated more on zone blocking, and like that requires your running backs to have patience and like let their holes open up and stuff. And Adrian Peterson has never been a guy to just hold on and wait for a hole to open up. He's
up your back if you're
he just goes straight into the offensive line.
Prefers to line up 12 yards behind you so that he can be running full
speed.
So
he doesn't even fit what they're going to run next year. So he's not even. Fans loved it. They'd love to be like, oh, he'll come back. Great story.
God,
can win the Super Bowl. But yeah, I don't think it would be a great story either.
No, I think it's a bad story. I think there's just, to me, it's insane.
More the casual fan. It's like used to seeing him in a Vikings uniform. And,
it just makes, from a football standpoint, it makes absolutely no sense for them.
I thought it was funny that it came out because it was like a day after I said that I wrote something that said like published something that said like 5 free agents that the Vikings should avoid this year, and he was one of them.
One of them, yeah. You nailed it. I think you're totally right. It is. Yeah, man.
He is in talks with the Redskins already, so that's good.
Yes, this is not the spot for him.
They deserve each other, They can give him way too much money, and then he can get a season-ending injury 4 games into the season and take all their money.
They're the perfect marriage. They are the perfect combination. I think you nailed it. They deserve each other.
They deserve each other.
I think so.